This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Hello. Brenton.
Sam.
AKA Meme Daddy. Welcome to the Cringe is Real. How you going?
Good. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. I'm a little bit starstruck because I've been sharing your memes for some time. And then we were both at the same watch party event and I had no idea who you were because you never really post too much of yourself. And then someone was like, that's the meme guy. And I was like, what? The meme guy's here? I was like more excited you were there than like all of the cast.
It's the weirdest thing, like when people come up to me. I had actually someone tap me on the shoulder and I'm like, what? How do you know who I am?
Yeah.
It's just like a very weird, and it's happened the last couple of seasons. Like
Yeah.
I feel like some of the cast as well are like, we want to meet the meme guy. I'm like, I want to meet the cast. Like what? It's just a very weird, like
Nice.
sort of trip I'm having, which I'm enjoying. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
I like the ego stroke as well. But
How did you sort of fall into it?
so it started off actually strategically. I wanted to apply for Survivor.
Yeah.
I applied for the first season. I had a Zoom audition. Back then it was Zoom. It was meant to go for half an hour. Within 5 minutes, she just cut me off and she's like, all right, thanks for your time. Do you have any questions? And I was like,
And you're like, well, clearly not the one.
yeah, clearly, yep. So I was like, well, A, I've got to work on my riz, but B, I've got to stand out. Like, I've got to do something different. I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone came on the show. I'm the biggest fan, and I've been watching since I was 2 years old. And
Yes.
so
How do you feel about that, by the way? The casting fans. I know it's like a very controversial topic over on American Survivor because that show right now is just like watching people geek out.
it's, yeah. And my mindset's changed. When I
Yeah.
first heard that there were recruits, I was spewing. I had no idea, like, some of these players were recruits. And then you hear someone like,
All the athletes,
yeah,
for example,
the Olympic.
we've kind of cut back on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Bar Morgan.
Even like someone like, yeah, all the AFL players, but then they end up actually, some of them work. Like Sean Hampson, for example.
The horse.
Yeah, the horse. He was someone who, as soon as I saw AFL player, I was like, ugh, written him off. I hate him. And then I was like, actually, he's kind of growing on me. And then I was like, I want more. Give me more Sean. Like, I just loved him at the end.
Love Sean. Doesn't him and Megan Gale own like a little like cafe in like Ascot Vale or something? Someone told me that once and I was like, that is so cute.
Yeah. I'm sure they own a lot of things.
Yeah. They're like busy. They're like busy but wholesome. It's like kind of infuriating.
Yeah. It's like you look at them and they've got everything you like.
Oh.
Like supermodel, famous, athlete. You just want to hate them.
Oh,
but
you can't. Yeah. They have like gorgeous children. Yeah. And they're like not annoying on social media.
No.
Yeah, they are actually
They're very
lovely.
I've DM'd both of them actually
Yeah.
because Megan follows me as well.
Yes, Megan Gale.
Within the fan page community,
Yeah.
it's great if a player likes and shares your stuff, but if Megan Gale likes it, you've hit it.
Honey,
You know you're good.
You've absolutely made it. Oh, how good. And what about the cast this season? Are they into it? Are they lolling along with you? Are some of them upset? What's the deal?
I've had probably the most interactions with them out of all the casts.
Yeah.
So usually I find the last couple of seasons, players are very hesitant to like say anything because Channel 10 tells them you're not allowed to share this, you're not allowed to talk to the fans, you're not allowed to do whatever. And now I've got my two girls, I've got like everyone like just DMing me. I'm getting all this gossip, all this tea, which I might not be able to say all
Please
this.
don't. This is not a gossip
No.
pod. Hang on, when you say your two girls, Logan,
Logan and Karen, obviously.
so much fun.
They're
They
the
are
best.
just... I love this cast so much. It's the best. I can tell why they would be into your stuff because they're all really happy to be on TV and you can tell.
They love they love it. I mean, it's the same thing with every season, though. You've got like a lot of hate from, especially, and I always feel for like, especially younger women on the show, they always get crapped on by the fans.
Yeah, it's true.
But these two, especially, not only are they like entertaining, but they're just clapping back, and they're like, yeah, they're obviously that resilient. So I'm impressed by them as well as just being in love with them.
Yeah. It's so much fun. And we were talking before a little bit about Jury Villa, which you haven't caught up on, but you must.
I'm
Because it's like giving, I don't know if you were ever into RuPaul's Drag Race, but back in the day, there was this sideshow called Untucked. And the tagline was, if you're not watching Untucked, you're only getting half the story. And I'm feeling this season, Jury Villa is like Untucked.
yeah.
Because there's so much going down. Normally they finish the game and everyone's like, oh yeah, cool, like, woo, it's done. No. Not Paulie.
No, he's got receipts.
He's like, girl, like Kristin walks into that dinner table and it's like better than Housewives. It's so good.
Yeah.
He's like raking over the coals. It's so awkward, but incredible.
No, I've this week especially, like, no one ever mentioned Jury Villa. I've had 4 different people tell me you have to watch it. And I'm just, okay,
Yeah.
I'm got the night off from Survivor this week. I got one night off. I'm going to have to
Thank
catch
you,
up and binge.
10. We love that. 3 nights a week. I have no life at the
No,
moment.
I'm the same.
Like, it's fucked. I'm looking forward to the end of the season. But 2 is like manageable. What did you think of this week's episodes? High level.
So, I mean, very emotional for me to see Logan leave the way she did. Not only is she my favorite, not only do I have her on my wristband, which is a Pilates injury, which is
And we should say also, you're not normally a wine drinker.
Not a wine
However,
drinker, but
we've poured one out for Logan tonight. So cheers, girly.
this is for you, Logan.
For Pilates wine, mum. Delicious. It's not a Shiraz, sorry, as she was banging on about, but it'll do. Yeah, I was so sad to see her go as well, but then also now we've got iconic Jury Villa content to look forward to.
I need to get onto that.
Yeah.
But no, just the way she went, it was so like, just it was iconic. It was just it was so on point for her. Like the amount of like drama involved in that tribal. And we didn't even get the full story. Like, we got the edited, cut down, watered version.
Yeah.
It was just, I was like, if she was going to go out anyway, that's like the way you want to go out. Like, you want to have the most over the top, memorable tribal. I think this is it for the season, the most memorable one.
And how do 10 feel about your memes? Because they do try to make their own, which, look, to give them credit, sometimes they're all right, but 9 times out of 10, they're like pretty shit.
I would say maybe 99 times out of 100.
Yeah, I think that's more fair.
So I was always like, never had much of a rivalry the last year. In fact, hardly ever mentioned them. They did, I think, like season 1, season 2, have like someone who loved the banter. So he would like rip into me, which I loved. And then it just went silent. And then this year, all of a sudden, pre-season notification, Survivor AU started following you.
Oh.
And
It's a new intern.
maybe it was a misclick. It's happened before. It's happened before once. They followed me. I
It's
screenshotted it.
JLP. He's
And
just
then-
like lolling.
Well, the first time it happened, I got the follow, and I was like, "Oh, okay, don't fuck this up." What happened? Then I took the screenshot. An hour later, I checked. I was like, "They're not following me anymore." And then I was like, "Oh, that's devastating. Like, why did they do that?"
Escándalo.
And then this year they followed me, so I'm like, "Hang on, I've fallen for this
You're
before.
back.
Let's just see what happens. Let me play nice." We were BFFs. They were a bit responsive, and then they started coming into my territory. I'm happy for you to post, I don't know, content about the show, previews, I don't know, but memes, that's
It's
me.
your jam. They should really just hire you at this point.
Well, yeah.
But then you wouldn't be able to do anything too fun.
No, I think I'd be
like,
very restricted.
they'd be like, not that.
No. Definitely not some of the stuff I don't even post, but
God, it sounds like you guys have this kind of like weird, like ex-lovers type relationship where it's like you like get drunk and then accidentally refollow. Then you're like, shit, they're going to see that.
Yeah, well, I think they're the drunk ex, because all of a sudden I'm getting random people initially commenting, liking, and I'm like, well, you don't even follow me. You've actively searched me, clicking on polls, for example. Like, that's very weird to do. Like, that's if I'm going to stalk my ex and she's going to post polls on there, and I'm definitely not going to start answering her poll.
So what happened with the poll? This is too good. Like, I died at your video about this.
So the poll I put up was, which page posts the best memes? Me, them, and one of the other pages, Useless Australian Survivor Facts, who actually post decent memes
their
every
stuff's
now
good
and then.
too.
Yeah. So he's more of a frenemy than an enemy. But Survivor AU, it's
Yeah.
sand in the line.
Yours is
Line in the sand.
cheekier. The fax is like, yeah.
It's more tame, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, as usually if I'm posting the meme, obviously it's my fans. I'm gonna get most of the likes, most of the votes. And within a few minutes, I checked the poll. I was like, "That's weird. Why are they on like 12 and I'm on 3? Like within like a minute or two." I'm like, "Huh?" So anyway, I'm like, "This is suspicious." So I thought, let me just see who's voting. Like sometimes, like I
Those
don't know,
postal votes.
yeah. Sometimes I'll get players like George will always vote like against me.
Yes.
Miles has done a few votes against me in my polls. He's posted a few memes before the
Has
season.
he?
So
Well, he's got merch,
I know.
which is quite cute.
It's yeah. I'd wear it if I was given it to if you sent me something.
Yeah, I mean, same. Just saying.
So anyway, I've got these random people who don't follow me answering the poll and answering for Survivor, and I'm like, for Survivor AU, and I'm like, this is why? Who are these people? Do I have enemies?
Russian bots.
Maybe. Val, I don't know if she voted.
Oh,
but
I was there with you with the tinfoil hat. I was like, this is like actually a cyber crime.
yeah, it's
being committed.
fraud. Can you imagine in the upcoming election if I don't know, like, I'm trying to think who's a shit party, but I don't want to offend
All
anyone.
of them.
If all of a sudden all the parties start getting a lot more votes.
Yeah, totally. No, I love it. And I just love that, yeah. In my mind, Channel 10 were really upset about it. And they need to, like, they will do anything to be
win.
considered to have the best memes. And
Well,
we all know,
yeah.
guys, it's just not true.
I don't think it's Channel 10. I think it's even worse. It's a
Who is
company
it?
called
The
Hello
Illuminati?
Social.
Oh, okay. Here we
Hello
go.
Social. And that's their job. They've had the content for months. They've got teams.
Right.
I do this. I make it up as I go. I don't have the benefit
It's organic. It's small business.
Exactly. Support
It's
small business.
real content from fans by fans. We love it.
Exactly.
Hello Social.
I do it for the people.
Yeah.
I don't get paid. It's not my job.
It's actually crazy though. Like, yeah, social media today compared to, I don't know, even 5 years ago, it's just such a different landscape. It's, yeah, the sponsorships, the everything. I don't know. It's like I'm not having as much fun as I used to on there. So I definitely enjoy accounts like yours where I'm like, oh, there's no motive here except for just like having a bit of fun.
Yeah, and
do you know what I mean?
That's something I've always said. If I start getting paid to do this,
True.
I
It
have
would
to
change
start
it.
listening to what my employer is telling me to do.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like everyone keeps telling me I should go on Survivor, and I'm like, if I do that, I can't fucking talk shit about it.
maybe you'd have to go like I don't know, wear a mask.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I could be somewhere else. All right, should we get into this week's
All right, let's go.
episodes? Episode 19 was called The Magic Number. And we start with AJ, who's telling us, he loves to tell us how good he is, but he starts by telling us that he's so good that now he's not even making his own moves. He's making moves through other people. So Logan's very happy claiming last night's vote was her idea. And AJ's like, great, love that. It's all yours. My hands are clean. How do you feel about AJ?
I like AJ. I used to play a lot of poker, and I've always been disappointed on US or Australian. Whenever there's a Survivor poker player, they're always just shit.
Who else has there been? I know George plays poker, but is that more of a post-Survivor thing?
No, that's
He
was
always
before.
did?
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't like his
Who else?
first. There was a guy in what was that season with like Tarzan and Tessa?
Yeah.
He was like vote out number 3.
That's right.
There's JRB from the US Survivor.
There's heaps on
one
the
of the
US.
worst social players. It's like poker is a social game.
Yeah.
As much as it's a strategy game.
Sure.
So whenever these like players come out, it's like, why don't you have any personal skills? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. And AJ's somehow not only acted like a lunatic throughout the season,
Yeah.
but he's still there.
That's what I'm baffled. Honestly, watching it, I'm like, how is he there?
Yeah. And I don't get the feeling he's being there like kept as a goat, because that's
No.
far too, like, you get rid of that shit when he starts holding hostages 10 episodes ago.
Yeah. No, he's legitimately like doing the thing. But I think his strategy is just like cause a bit of chaos and like clean up the mess afterwards and then like claim that as well. It's just, I don't know. He just needs to be seen to be leading. But then now he's telling us he's happy for other people to kind of stick their necks out.
Which to me is also smart play because that's something he can then claim at the end.
True.
But people aren't going to say, oh, hang on. If Logan, like this example that you're saying, if Logan wants to take responsibility, cool, she's the target.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for your life. And then he can then later on explain how, well, actually.
Yeah. Oh, if he gets to the end, his final tribal speech is going to be epic. So if I was there with him, I would not let that happen.
No.
I would try really hard because he's going to talk some great.
Yeah.
Like,
he's a very good talker.
Yeah.
I mean, except for that bit with Kate and the chat GPT.
Which we get more of this week. I couldn't believe it. He also, I can't remember if it was this week or last week, but he tells us, he's like, gonna win. He's like, oh, well, like, I figured out the math and like, there's no way I can't win now. And I was like, well, okay. You're gonna say that on camera? Sure.
It's like do you think producers get them to say that sort of stuff so they
100%.
So they can then say, all right, this episode is your downfall episode.
But then the fact that they've used it, but he's still in, I'm like, is he fucking winning?
He got his way, yeah.
That's why I'm like, I feel like him or Miles are winning this season.
I
now.
would at this point, if I get a Miles AJ final 2,
that would be really fun too. Like I'd like to watch that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the morning, Kristin explains herself to AJ and Kaylin. She's kind of got her tail between her legs a bit. She's like, haha, guys, yeah. Ooh, sorry about that. And to her face, they're like, yeah, cool, whatever. We're fine. But then they're not really thrilled.
No.
And they're kind of done with Kristin.
Yeah. I get the feeling, and maybe this is confirmed in the jury villa, that she's not a super fan.
Yes, it is confirmed in jury villa because she walks in and she's like, I don't even know what rocks are.
Yeah, yep, that's what I was getting at.
And Laura's like, excuse me. So good.
Well, see, that's part of me ages ago. If that was Brendan the super fan or Meme Daddy the super fan, I would be spewing and hating Kristin. But I've understood like Survivor AU is not a game bot. It's about the characters.
Yeah.
And she was a great character. She was the loving, motherly figure. She clearly had such a good social game that she was able to hold a public idol for how many votes before Miles stole it. Probably could have gone for longer.
Yeah. And she tells a great mum joke about Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
She's got great references too.
So, yeah, she's the innocent, sweet lady playing a great social game, whether intentional or not. But, yeah, she tried to pull a couple moves, flopped.
She's an archetype we have every season, I think, on Australian Survivor. The kind of mumsy type. And every season, they're not usually the one I'm into. And this season's no different for me with Kristin. But I do think she actually did try a few times to, like, stir some shit. But, like, it kind of felt too late. Kind of like Caroline last year was like...
She left too late.
She, like, waited too late and then was like, oh, now I'm going to, like, do all this stuff. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, you had 47 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, she's a lovely person. Seems like a great social game. Would probably have not won, especially given you've got on the jury, you've got Karen, Logan, Paul. Was Paulie a super fan? I can't remember.
Laura, I don't know. I think Paulie's like a super fan of himself.
Yep.
As am I. I think Paulie's in it for the good times.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But if you've got so many super fans on the jury,
true.
It's generally, I mean, there will be a bit of bias against anyone who's not a super fan. It's like this, camaraderie thing that you have with fellow super fans, and
true.
And we all know the weirdos that go to those parties. I would vote for them at the final two if we.
True. Exactly. Miles welcomes Zara to the bottom club, which I thought was quite cute.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Miles has a way. They tried to like edit him in this way in the first half of the game where they're like, he's annoying, and I wasn't buying that. I'm like, yeah, he's like chatty, but I don't know. I find him so endearing. I feel like he actually like tries to bring people in. He's so excited to be there, and he wants to make everyone else excited.
I think it's his over like zealousness about being there that comes out and annoys people.
Yeah, I think so too.
So again, he seems like great guy, but we're also getting snippets, and that's the problem with like as much as I'm talking up Kristin saying she might have been the nicest, she could have been the biggest bitch behind the edit. We don't know that for certain. But yeah, with Miles, I get the feeling that he probably was so excited to be there, and because I think he's one of the younger ones, I don't think he had that like, I don't know, that subtlety or that like awareness, just to tone it down a bit. So I can see why he's constantly at the bottom, even though he comes up with all these crazy over the top moves that somehow work all the time.
Yeah.
So definitely, he actually reminds me a bit of George in the way they play.
Yep. I think George, and maybe he like figured this out because he's played multiple times, but I think George is like a producer of the show, in a way. Whereas I think Miles is like excited to be there. That's the difference. But I think if Miles plays again,
you'd see
we'll see him be more King George vibes.
Mm.
So we get this reward challenge, which was balancing on some floating thing on the water, and you win a night on an IKEA bed. What a treat. I love that they are doubling down with this sponsorship. Like, if you didn't like the previous IKEA reward, well, get ready. They're back. And my favourite part was Kristin later on trying to pronounce the names of the pillows. It was like mum in IKEA walking around being like, oh, it's the flurben blurben. I was like, oh, this is
tries
so
to just play it
good.
off casually. I was like, I know what I'm talking. Like,
They left it in. I was like, didn't someone from IKEA watch that and be like,
can we get a
maybe
redo?
not. The bit where she like butchers the name of the pillow. So good. Anyway, AJ's out right away. He's like so not here for the challenges, and I love it. He does not give a fuck about the challenges.
I don't know. I reckon maybe he's just that shit at some
Oh,
point.
really? In my mind, he is wanting to do the opposite of like Kaylin and like not look like he's threatening in that way. But then I reckon when it gets to like the last one, all of a sudden he's going to like try 100%.
Well, maybe. It's a very long game to play.
True.
But I think it's also all the endurance stuff. I just think, I mean, he's got mental endurance, like as a poker player, but that doesn't translate to, can I hold myself in a pole? Can I balance for, I don't know, what it was, half an hour on the water? I think it's like, not too hard. I'm not going to win. I just, give up. I'm not interested sort of thing. But if there's a challenge that suits him, I think he'd destroy it. Like if there's I don't know, some sort
poker game?
Some sort of luck-based probabilities game.
Yeah. I do love that every time there's a pole-based challenge, everyone's like, hey, Miles, hey, get on the pole. So good. So Kristin wins this one and takes Morgan and Logan on the reward. But back at camp, Zara is stoked that she's not on the reward because she gets an opportunity to do some strat chat with AJ and Miles.
Zara did say multiple times she doesn't need it.
She doesn't need it. Doesn't care.
So everyone's
hates
happy.
IKEA, famously.
Hates the Flugen, Blugen.
The Flugen, not for her. She preferred twigs and branches. So we're kind of back to the graduates, which I was like, could this be an actual alliance this season that actually sticks together for more than 2 seconds? What did you think?
I've been just on that note. I've been loving it. Like from a understanding what the fuck is happening. No idea.
Try recapping this each week. I'm like, who the fuck is voting with who now? Like, I have no idea what's going on.
As soon as you said graduates, the only reason I know it is because of that Channel 10 post
with them all wearing little graduation caps. Real original guys.
I mean, I didn't think of it, but also because I had my head in my phone, I don't know, probably making duck memes about Karen at that point.
It's such an just back to the meme rivalry. It's such an unfair advantage because you're literally watching it when it comes out. They have this content pipeline like ready to go for like months.
I've had people tell me, "Oh, it's so obvious. You watched the show before." I'm like, "How?"
Nah, bitch. You're like, I'm just quick. Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm
I'm the same. I'm not getting screeners. I'm fucking doing this just after it comes out.
Yeah, we don't have insider info. Yeah. We just, I don't know, maybe we're just smarter than everyone.
Maybe.
And better looking.
Exactly. And modest. AJ says he can't trust Kristin anymore after her little backstab of the Berries alliance. And then Miles finds his fourth idol, which is kind of crazy.
I know. Hey, Miles, is that an idol in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
Exactly. He tells us it's an Australian Survivor record.
I think it
I'm
is.
Okay.
I think it could. Well, yeah, I think it is.
4 is a lot.
But does that include the one he stole?
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Yeah, it must have been.
He's played 3, and he's
Yeah,
the
so
top
this
one.
must be... Yeah, that's right, because he stole Kristin's
Kristin's,
one. Her, like, public one from that
Yeah.
Chaos Challenge
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
just
yeah.
peppered idols around. I actually love that.
Ah, that was great.
Yeah. He tells AJ about it, who is excited. Tells Miles he's excited, but then is secretly not that thrilled. Because he reminds us that Miles has played the last 3 correctly. So it's like it's like a probability thing, right? He's like, this is dangerous. But if he's on your side and you convince him to like get rid of it quickly, could be good. I don't know.
Well, firstly, when it comes to that, arguably Miles played one of them correctly because AJ told him we're all voting for you from that when they had the Baron bounty split.
Don't remind me.
Paulie was loving life that day.
Yeah, that was so good. Just Paulie's miserable day.
It's like if you want to make him the main character, like the show is just like how his just sanity devolves over a few weeks. Like he just
Paulie is always the main character at Jury Villa.
He's the main character of this podcast.
Yes, still. And you're gone, Paulie, and we still love you. Oh my God. On the reward, Logan is very excited to debrief with the girlies and have a shower. But Kristin, continues to murder the names of Swedish pillows. Then we get some fancy flashback editing and we see AJ planting the seeds.
Yep.
This
How
was
dramatic.
I was like, ooh. With Miles, Zara, and Kaylin against Logan. He's like, she's the biggest threat. And I was like, excuse me, AJ, get her name out of your mouth, young man. I was so mortified.
No, that to me was when I think, as much as I respect AJ as a player and as a contestant, and as a character, if you're going after one of my girls,
exactly,
one of my favorites, one of my meme daughters, sorry, mate, I'm cutting you out.
No, that's keep going.
No, I'm cutting him out.
Oh, great. Sorry, I thought you meant Yes, I agree. Because I'm kind of here for him when he's doing like his silly antics. But then, when my favorites are up for grabs, I'm like, no. We get this new kind of immunity challenge where it started off in teams and then became individual later on, which I actually kind of loved. Going through was Miles, Kate, Kaylin, and Kristin. Did AJ throw this?
No.
I
think he just.
I just feel like every time a challenge is involved, AJ's throwing it.
No, I think at this point, there's no incentive for him to throw.
But if you're in a group with someone that you, because he was in a group with Logan.
So
I think he was like, I don't want her getting through.
Maybe we need the tinfoil.
Yeah. I've got a fresh roll waiting for it.
That's a good
No,
point.
I don't know. Something about him and challenges, I'm like, because he's always trying to game every like micro part of the whole experience.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I love for Survivor, I love the fact, and this I do with kind of anything I'm in a remotely competitive setting. If I can find some sort of weird loophole or some sort of advantage, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to like hold back and be like, that's technically not fair, or they don't know about this. It's like, no, bitch, like it's mine. I'll go for it. So that could have been a strategy. He could have thought, I'm not going to win the challenge if we get to the end. He could have blown it. Yeah.
My strategy would just be flirting with the producers. I'd just be like, love that top.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, hey, do you want to just like come for a walk over here and look behind this tree? And I'd be like, oh my God, it's an idol.
I would probably be like, what? What do you mean? I don't want to go for a walk there. That's weird.
Just behind the well.
I was like, I'm not into that.
Yeah. So the bloody golden retriever. / sheepdog / I've forgotten what dog breed he is this week.
Yeah.
He wins once again. And this was like, I've been warning him every week, girl, you gotta like chill with the wins.
I feel so indifferent to him, which makes
Yeah.
me not like him, which I
Yeah.
guess I'm not feeling indifferent, but
Fair enough. I mean, I just enjoyed looking at him.
yeah,
but
I think we all do.
besides that, it's like, yeah, I'm not getting much. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't need to be there.
No, I mean, who doesn't like seeing records being broken? If he wins one more immunity, great. We can say we witnessed the record. But every conversation about strategy and voting, it's always been him being like, oh, I don't know what to say. I'm not allowed to do anything. AJ told me this. Like, I feel like he has no agency. And my theory is that he's being built as like the GOAT for the final two. Like that, he's probably someone that you want to take.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because you get him to the end and then you go, oh, this dummy. Like, yeah, won some challenges, but didn't talk strat for 1 minute. He's like awkward when they're talking strat.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and he's even blown up. Well, not blown up, but like he's like fumbled plans before where they're all trying to be. And he's like, oh, but aren't we doing this? And they're all like, Kaylin.
And the one thing which infuriated me was when he told AJ about Logan's idol.
That's right.
That was emotionally, I was like, how dare you? That's not
that
not
happened
cool.
when we were at that watch party.
I was distraught. But then also it's like, what was his strategy to go tell AJ so then AJ can then tell him what to do moving forward? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have thought like, you've got this info, use it to your advantage, not, I don't know what to do, so I'll tell AJ. That's the vibe I was getting. I could be wrong. And again, he seems like on his socials, like a great person, but as a player, I'm just not like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And I think he's very much GOAT material at this point.
Oh, yeah, totally. I would actually kind of love to see that. Like, yeah, I'd love his final tribal speech, which I know we got like a sneak preview. But like him just being like, oh, yeah, hey guys, yeah, love catching fish.
Yeah.
Winning challenges. Everyone's like, oh. But then he wouldn't get a single vote.
But if you look at the jury, I don't think they appreciate.
No,
like,
they would hate it.
he could win every challenge until the end. I don't think that's going to get him any votes.
Karen and Paulie and Laura don't give a shit about that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And that could be. I don't think that's necessarily even the only way he's going to get to the end. But if he does, like in previous seasons, there would have been players on the bench on the jury villa.
Yeah.
Who would have said, no, I think you put your body on the line. I appreciate that. I like clutch player, whatever you want to say, we'll give you the vote. But this season, I just don't see anyone thinking, that was a great way to get to the end. You deserve it. So.
Well, back at camp, Kaylin lies to Kristin and says that he doesn't know what the plan is. I'm like, okay. And then she gets quite activated and comes up with a decoy plan with Logan that it's a Kate Morgan split, but they're actually interested in doing Zara. And I was like, right. And then with no one wanting to budge, it looks like it's going to be a stalemate. And this was like, they'd kind of teased this in the promos and stuff, so we kind of knew something was going to happen.
Very Sue's big move.
It was. Oh my God, this is so Sue's big move, because I was like, oh my God, craziest tribal ever. Can't wait.
Happen.
And then it's like, okay.
Because think of like rock draws, the last firstly, never an Australian Survivor.
Yeah, I was so ready for it.
And the last one in American one was, I don't know what, 10 years ago it feels? I don't know.
Yeah, let's be honest, like AJ and Miles were just wanting to claim that as the nerds that they are.
Well,
and I love that for them.
Yeah.
And I'm really mad we didn't get it. But also I'm like, calm down, boys.
Well, they knew as well. So you had, in their alliance, Kaylin was immune and Zara was immune at the rock draw. And the other side was just Logan was immune. So you had two AJ and Miles, and you had three of the girls. So if you want to play probabilities, odds are it's going to be one from that alliance. So I think that's probably what was not really shown. And that's why I think they were so bravado about it, because they knew, well, we are in a high probability.
Still have a high probability. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, they wouldn't have loved it if they went home. But at the same time, you know, it's still, I think in their minds, they're like, if we do go home on this, one of us does go home on this, that's setting you up for playing again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As if you're not going to get invited back if
for sure.
happens to you.
Yeah. And also, I guess AJ would know from a poker probability perspective.
Yeah.
It's like you make the right move, you got unlucky. That was kind of, I think, what his mindset might have been. But yeah, definitely it was built up. It was gonna happen,
Yeah.
and then I was actually excited. 'Cause I'm like, oh, Logan's safe. Like she's not going. And then I was like, no. And then slowly,
and then it just,
then heartbroken.
I know. Before that, though, Karen makes her first sexy jury entrance, which I was like, snaps diva. All three continue to stun in their
Jeez,
looks.
Yep. Best part of the
Paulie's
episode.
face entering each time. It's like they're equal parts sexy and pissed off. I'm so into it.
Oh, I love it's like, are you trying to be like hot and attractive?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to be like this angry bitchy vibe?
They're the saltiest jury of all time, and I am here for it.
And the guys there they're so excited, like
They're
to see
like,
their friends.
"Woo!"
So it makes it so weird. I'm like,
It's just so funny as well, the whiplash of like watching them roll around in the dirt for like 40 days and then cut to them with like full glam hair and makeup, jewelry,
clean clothes,
so good.
over the top. I love it. But yeah,
it's
that attitude.
the main stage of
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race at this point.
Well, I've been saying that this season it's like they've been trying to like mathsify it. Maybe they've been trying to like drag
Yeah,
race it a bit as well.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? All these shows do roll into one when you're
Yeah.
watching them all simultaneously like I am. Oh my God. JLP asks the guys if they have the full picture or if anyone's got the full picture. And I was kind of like, well, I think for the first time in a long time, most of these people actually do have the full picture. Like, we haven't had a huge amount of blindsides compared to normal seasons, don't you think?
I'm trying to think what's.
I don't know. I just feel like normally there's like two kind of main alliances and then there's like flip-flopping between, and the people that do that really piss someone off. But this season it's more like there's like these little random bits floating around.
Well, that's what I'm loving. And JLP also made a comment that whenever there's a big move, the deck reshuffles, and it feels like the deck reshuffles regardless.
Yeah,
Like, there's
yeah.
nothing hard and concrete.
True. They're good at, they don't hold like big grudges. But then, I don't know, Jury Villa is now telling me that they do hold grudges. We're just not seeing them on the show.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
That's the sort of tea I love.
It's, so good. Yeah, so they vote. Unfortunately, it's the 4-4 tie that we were kind of dreading. And then upon the re-vote, I do love it during the votes, like Zara writes down Logan's name and she says, "This is for taking out my ride or die bestie." And then Logan writes down Zara's name and goes, "I really hope this sends you home." I was like, fight. Oh, and AJ's like, "I really hope we go to Rocks." And no one gets what they want, which means they have 5 minutes to discuss who should go between Logan and Zara. Otherwise, they become safe, and it's a Russian roulette for the others who go, which anyone that's watched the show for a million years like us knows. However, Kristin, Morgan, and Kate thought that it was like a fire-making challenge.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yep.
Yeah. What?
You get the rules like when you're in like a few days before. I think they're in lockdown in a hotel room. Like,
But wouldn't you just like ask someone on the
Yeah.
day?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
or
Kind of important.
yeah. So that makes me think as well. If they didn't know it was going to Rocks, like, and then when they found out, like, did that sway their decision? Like, would they have
I
just
reckon.
not gone with the plan to
I
begin
think you could see it happening in real time. I think Morgan in particular was like freaking because she's like, I didn't realize I was at
with?
risk.
Yeah.
I thought it was still going to be between Zara and Logan. Maybe that's what she thought.
Yeah.
I don't think she realized that, it actually reverses the kind of scales.
So then I wonder if
Anyway.
Logan was ever going to be safe in that case.
Yeah. I
'Cause
do
if
love
they
it. Yeah.
If they were informed, and I mean they kind of knew what they were doing on the show that they're on,
Yeah.
maybe they wouldn't have just gone with the plan to begin with. They would have just thought, nah, I'm not risking myself. Like, why
True.
would-
I don't think they would have. You're right. I don't think they would be into a risk that big because they've been playing it so safe to date.
Well, I don't actually know. what they've been
Allegedly.
playing. Yeah.
Like, exactly. I do love Miles and AJ want to go to Rocks because they are the self-proclaimed biggest psychopaths on the tribe. I was like, we're the biggest psychopaths. I was like, I love this. Self-aware queen. And anyway, Miles pitches why Logan is a threat. And unfortunately, yeah, it just kind of turns to this unanimous decision. And Logan doesn't admit defeat, but gracefully sort of understands what's going to happen. So I think there was nothing she could have done. The writing was on the wall, but we hate
Celine Dion.
Yeah,
I was actually, I don't know when I last felt that watching an episode of Survivor, and I was like, no, like in denial. I'm like,
yeah,
it's going to be a non-elimination episode. Like everything I could think of, I was like, it can't. This isn't right.
It's not happening.
And I was so distraught. And then I appreciated it. Then I was like, I love this for my girl. Like I love that she got voted out in this iconic way.
Yeah. Would you like a top up, doll?
Yes, please.
We're just refilling our glasses in honor of Logan. Yeah, it was. You're right. I think she really got a good ending because it's like, yeah, it was graceful. She was like, okay, this is what's happening. See ya. She wasn't like kicking and screaming.
No.
I don't know. I was into it.
I loved it.
She's a classy gal.
Loved it. And now her and Karen, my two favorites, I want to see that. I want to see this jury villa stuff.
Kiki in the villa. Yeah, well, that's in my notes. I've got the jury is now stacked with my faves. Episode 20 was called "The Reaper is Coming." Miles is feeling himself, even though he's bummed that they didn't get to go to Rocks. But yeah, he's such a little showman, isn't he? He's like, well, I'm going to do all the things. He says he has a final 3 plan with AJ and Kaylin. So Zara would be at 4 from the so-called graduates. Kristin knows she's pissed off her alliance, but is good at what she refers to as dusting herself off and trying again. And I'm just glad that she didn't make an Aliyah joke, because I was like, we don't need her butchering references. I feel like she fought that temptation quite hard. She pivots, though, to Zara all of a sudden, and she starts sucking up to Zara. She's like, I mean, we don't just want to get knifed by the boys, do we? And then we'll start turning... Seeds have been planted with Zara. What did you think about this desperate move?
Straight away, I was like, nah, that's not working.
Yeah.
Zara...
Oh, you could tell Zara wasn't going to do it.
Yeah. I can read Zara beyond her, and I
really?
love her, but beyond her resting bitch face, I can tell she was thinking at that point, if I jump ship to Kristin, I'm with Kristin on a newly formed weird alliance that I don't really know much about, with 2 girls who are not, they're inseparable.
Yeah.
It would be, then you're basically saying I'm volunteering to be on the bottom, whereas with the others, at least she might have a bit more agency, or she might think she has a bit more agency. So she's not flipping. I don't know what else Kristin could have done, because Kaylin, I don't think he's approachable. I think I think he's on AJ's leash for sure. He could be a bit of a
that's
lapdog.
really good. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not paying that much attention to Zara. I'm not like vibing with her as a character, to be honest. She kind of like annoyed me in the earlier half of the season, where she was quite bossy, but in not like a fun way. I don't know. It's the PTA energy for me. So maybe I'm just not paying attention, but I thought that, and I don't know, low-key was kind of hoping that she was going to jump on with this, even though I'm not here for Kristin either. I just like it when people disrupt the main narrative. Like, we all love it when that happens, right? But
sorry,
yeah.
I was laughing before when you're saying she's bossy and she's this, and I was like, when I messaged Zara, I was like, you remind me of my wife.
Did you actually say that?
I was like, it's the
amazing.
same, like a Stonewall like approach, like lawyer vibes, and I'm like the boss, not bossy.
The actual boss. Well, yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say is, I'm terrified of Zara.
So I actually think if I was on the island with her, and I think if I would have clued in on her personality, I think I could have been tight with Zara. But yeah, as soon as that conversation, I was like, it makes almost no sense for Zara to flip. Kristen's also like, she realizes she's in a shitty situation because she's in a 3 with 2 who are inseparable. The only saving grace for Kristin is she's probably not the next target. It would have to be breaking up Kate and Morgan.
Yeah. How has that not happened?
I don't get it.
That's crazy to me.
Like, I understand for a certain point, but we're at now, like...
Is that more goat vibes? Like, just... They're not causing issues for anyone?
I think maybe there's a bit of that. I think AJ might be trying to play that. But you need one of them. You don't, like...
True.
Unless maybe the thinking is keep both of them, because then if you split them up, then they'll be hell to pay. Like,
that's what I'm thinking.
Like
you'll piss them off because they're the girlies.
If you vote out Kate, and then you'll come back and you'll shelter.
Also, it's a package deal. It's like 2 votes potentially. I don't know. Yeah, Zara is like, I love Kaylin, but it is time to make a move for me, or that's the editing we get anyway. Then we get this immunity challenge, which is an actual torture chamber. I loved this. Hanging off a steep platform, and then it like anytime there's like a hand crank mechanism involved, I gag. Yeah, like, it's so funny,
so medieval.
Exactly.
Torture.
And then we get Kate's iconic line. She's like, "I didn't sign up for Saw." Loved that. And then fucking it turns into actual water torture, and they all get like sprayed in the face. It was so
but
good.
Also out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't like, by the way, like...
It was like, oh, JLP's like, oh, whoops. Looks like I accidentally hit the spray button.
Sprinklers aren't meant to come in now.
I know. It was like totally like that. I know. I was like disappointed in the lack of innuendo from JLP with that. He could have been like, oh, Kaylin's getting squirted on or something, but no.
Or some sort of, I don't know, some sort of shower, I don't know, champagne shower.
Oh, everybody's getting wet. I don't know. He like lives for that.
He missed it.
So do I. Yeah, it was a sexy torture device. And then Big Boy...
Kaylin, of course, he's a specialist at this. Like,
he's a specialist at winning at physical challenges.
It doesn't make... And, like, because I look at it, maybe part of the indifference, which has turned into dislike, is because I look at him and I'm like, I never looked like that. I was never that strong. I was never that good at challenges. I was like, maybe I'm a bit jealous.
Well, yeah, maybe. There's also something just kind of like a bit bland and sincere about him in the way that he's just like, oh, you do the challenge and you win. It's like, oh, okay. Sure.
Did I read it somewhere about it's like he doesn't know he's there for Survivor. He thinks he's there on the challenge.
Yeah, true. He's giving old school casting where it's like mateship and like gotta win. I'm a gold medalist and I love mateship. Oh my God, remember that? And they'd be like, you can't lie on this show. The whole show's about loyalty. I'm like,
you're a
fuck
snake.
Yeah. I'm so glad we don't get as much of that anymore. They definitely do pepper in a few of those.
Yeah. A bit of a Sam Webb vibe now.
Yes. Oh my God, don't take me back there.
And just picturing Lee saying, the alliance. And it's like, fuck.
You guys are on a show. AJ stoked that the Golden Boy wins again. Probably because, I mean, you know, he's in his alliance and they're protected, but also great to have him just make himself even more of a threat. Because I feel like next week,
as soon as he doesn't
win. Yeah, as soon as he doesn't win, they're all going to go, hey,
you've got to be very tempted,
knife the, what is he, golden retriever? At camp, Kristin is acting seriously despo at this point. She pleads her case to Miles. She's like, just in case, you know, if you want to work with me, I'm a fun mum. I'm not like a regular mum. I'm a cool mum. I'm here to work with you, Miles. And he's like, sure, Jan. Cool story. Kaylin is so awkward at the strat chat. It's like he doesn't want... I feel like that's why he wins the challenges, so he doesn't have to participate in it.
Yeah. I'm picturing like almost a bit like Kent earlier on. Just go have a nap. Like,
oh my God, Kent.
Vomit with that guy. Don't. let's not go there.
The praying man.
Oh, as a millionaire. That was his personality type.
Yeah.
I'm a millionaire.
I'm a millionaire, baby. Kristin is trying to flip Zara now to take out AJ because Kaylin's won immunity. And DJ Kate is so frustrated that the Brawny girls are on the bottom. She's just like, I'm going to try and like work my magic with AJ. So her and Morgan tried on with AJ. This was so bizarre. And then Morgan cracks it. Understandably, because AJ is like a brick wall and he's just like so reluctant to tell them anything, but he's doing it in this like patronizing as fuck way. I would respond in the same way as Morgan. I'd be like, well, this guy's fucking not giving us anything, so see you later.
That to me was very indicative that she was a recruit and has no idea. Like you feel that on the inside, but you don't do that on the outside. You do what you let him talk. You brush his ego, stroke whatever else.
Yes.
You do what you need to do to get him on board, and by doing that, you're just making yourself. You're just like
you lie,
pushing yourself further away.
You placate people. You tell people what they want to hear. Like, duh. Because like literally the game.
Imagine if you said to AJ like, I don't know what I'm trying to think what she could say to him to then be like, if you keep me around one more vote, I'll do X. Like give him some sort of carrot, but instead what you're doing is you're making him then think to go back to his alliance. Hang on,
it's true because she's putting up just as much of a brick wall back by being like, "Well, bye." It's like closing the door. Yeah, I don't know. I get though she feels probably pretty powerless, but you're right. It's like you've got to kind of grab it.
That's
by
the
power
dynamic.
Exactly.
Like it's when it happens in the real world when you've got someone using their leverage or power. Yeah, call them out. It's bullshit, whatever. But when you're on a game where it's a social political game, like you need AJ's in power. You need him to help you. Like it's not like yes, you have to beg, you have to grovel, you have to bend over backwards, bend over forwards, whatever he wants. Yeah, you do what he wants, and he'll help you out. He'll throw you a bone. But if you're gonna blow up in his face, and maybe the plan was to get Kate, but now he's like, hang on a sec. I know if I get rid of Kate, I'm dealing with this. Crazy.
Well, there's also two of them. So it's like, think creatively for a second, like, you know, and you've got a few floaters. I don't know. If they wanted to, if they were really working hard, they could flip the whole game, but they're not.
No.
So that's the thing. And that's why I do think that, you know, there's been a lot of discussion about like Morgan and Kate and like, are they getting like a shit edit? I'm like, well, probably not, because like, you've still got to do some stuff. Like, as if you're telling me they were doing all this stuff and the producers would just like leave that out. Like, come on.
I don't know. It's a weird one. I have heard when I've spoken to George in the past, like he'll say that a lot of the people who get
loves a chat, George.
He loves
friend
it.
of the pod, George. Yeah.
Oh, I remember not at the first Johnny Fairplay party, the Channel 10 car got a good workout.
Oh my god.
It was just I loved it. I don't think I paid for a drink, but I think I was so hungover the next. But even this recent party as well, like I was not in good shape. I got home, I don't know, 2:30, woke up at 6:30, like drinking beer, and oh my god, not.
Well,
not
George
drinking.
and Morgan have been at each other on the socials this week, which is delicious. What do you call it? And Kate, boring or something.
Well,
and then they were like, "Fuck you, mate."
Yeah, like there's other things or things you don't know.
I'm like, I can't wait for those NDAs to run out because I want to know what she's talking about.
Yeah. We'll find out in time.
We will.
But yes, what I was going to say with George, and that's kind of the point that he was making. Like in the past, he said to me, there might be super fans of the show who get no airtime. Like Gerald, for example, in his first season. Yeah. Gerald apparently been watching the show since I don't know, he gave his first milking to a cow or whatever he does. Stop. And he just wasn't cut for like showmanship. Like he didn't have the showmanship. He didn't have the Logan drama. He didn't have that like fierceness from like Karen. Like he wasn't giving them anything. Whereas George would say he would actively give them multiple things to work with. Like he would record something and they'd be like, "Yep, cool. All right, that's done. You can go." And he'd be like, "No, let me tell you, in case the plans change, I want to say this part." So like George was, he knew how to play the game and he knew how to get the producer's attention, and
100%.
But but he's also naturally charismatic, whereas Kate and Morgan just might not be giving them anything.
True. When Kate is in the show, I really enjoy it. Morgan, I don't think has even had a crumb. So I do feel bad for that because I feel like at least give us, surely there's some stuff she's said or done that they could have included, and they've really purpled her. But I think with Kate, it's like when she's on it, I'm like, oh yeah, because you know she's wearing jeans as a top this whole time, and I'm obsessed with that. So it's like, how can you not? Anyway, and speaking of Kate, AJ and her are talking. She's batting her eyelids, and we get more discussion about how beautiful her eyes are. And I couldn't. I shuddered. It was like,
I can see why AJ's single. Like,
yeah.
there's
He's
no
like,
game.
oh, I'm talking to Kate. And she's just got such beautiful eyes. And I was like, stop. I was like, sir, step away from the woman.
It's like it'll be like a cartoon cutout of him, like his heart coming out of his chest.
Yeah. I do like. Yeah, they were trying to kind of, I don't know, give her a bit of a poverty edit or something for a second there. Like, is she going to try and like flirt away? Which I think is a absolutely valid strategy and
100%.
amazing.
Yep.
But I don't think she's interested in doing that for real.
Yeah, I don't think she even thought of it as an option to do that. I don't know. I would like to know what's going on in her mind.
Yeah. Oh, I think she's definitely a little bit flirting with him to, you know, see what happens. But I don't think she's not thinking about like how she could use that.
Yeah. So, and it's one of those things, like, I don't know if you've ever been in a workplace and it's like,
unfortunately I have.
where you'll be like, like, that's the hottest person we have here. And it's like, then eventually it grows and it becomes like, okay, they're not so bad. Yeah. And then like when you leave the job, you're like, what the fuck was wrong with me? That could be what's happening on the island. It's like, well,
totally.
Who does she have to choose between? AJ, Miles?
Well, it's funny you should say that. I'm having the same experience as a viewer because like at the start of the season, I was a little bit like, not that many hotties this season. Now because my guest last week, Dan Morrison, was like, AJ's a bit hot. And I was like,
Is he objectively?
Or is he just the best we've got left in the game? And now I'm like, this week I was like, AJ's a bit hot. Which I could not believe I was thinking. But yeah, you're right. I think it's just like slim pickings.
Yeah.
Anyway. He is making great tally, but I do want to give him a little slap. At Tribal, our sexy jurors walk in, sissy that walk.
They keep out-sexing themselves.
So good. DJ Kate rates the graduates for making boring moves, which I was like, T. She's like, you could do a boring move or you could fuck shit up. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys still have to like decide what fucking shit up looks like.
Yeah, you can't just, say because she kept saying we have a voting block of 3. We have 3 easy votes for you. And it's like, yeah, but sell it. It's like,
yeah,
like
what's the end game, baby? And then, this was awkward as when Morgan and Miles kind of got into it. It was like, Miles is like, well, I didn't get any pictures from Morgan. So I was like, correct. And she's like, well, I didn't get any pictures from you. I'm like, yeah, but you're kind of like on the out style.
Yeah, why, yeah.
Like, it was awkward because he had to like actually explain that. And it was
that's
uncomfortable.
That's what I was saying before. Like in the real world, when you have a boss taking
a dynamic,
fine. That should you call it out because that's someone taking advantage of their position for their own personal benefit. But if
I've
you're
done the training,
all the modules, and then but when you're on a game where that is the point of the game is to outmaneuver and to use leverage and to it's basically
change the dynamic.
Yeah,
which you can do.
Yeah,
but not by being sooky. It's like Morgan's like sad at like how the cards have fallen over. It's like, well, pick them up.
Yeah,
do something else.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, Miles, I think was all too happy to explain to her kind of like the lay of the land. So she kind of did get a bit served. Then after that, the Brawny girls start whispering. And Morgan wants to switch to Miles, which felt very personal. No?
Very emotional.
It was like, this little bitch is like telling me that, you know, I'm not working hard enough at the strategy. So let's get rid of him. And I was like, oh. But then they tell Zara and Zara's like, works for me.
Yeah. but that to me is a conversation you can have at camp. Like,
Yeah.
you need Zara. You can't just tell Zara, oh, we're voting for AJ, and
Yeah.
you think about it. It's like, what do you prefer?
Yeah.
Who do you want? Who can you see yourself working with better? We'll go the other way. Like, we'll do whatever you want, sort of thing.
And as you knew she was going to do, she didn't flip. And we see the back of Kristin, which, to be honest, I was fine with.
Yeah, I think her character had run its course.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see when she comes out in the jury, the next tribal.
What her outfit's going to be like.
Yeah.
It's going to be like
Like overall
the divas and then mum. It's going to be like the 4 like hot babes are going to walk in and then it's like mum at the back. Or do you think they're going to give her a little glow up?
I reckon she'll have a bit of a glow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can picture like a bit of a, I don't know, hair all up and nice and a bit of like a summery dress. And,
Yeah.
And like just makeup. And I think we'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I think so too.
Either that or she's going to come like in full on like fiery gear. Like
Yeah.
big, baggy, fire safe overalls, a helmet.
So Jury Villa. Do you want me to catch you up on a few bits?
Give me the cliff notes.
So the cliff notes of Jury Villa, Laura's is great. She just gets time by herself, which I was like, amazing. I was very jealous of that. Paulie...
She got a good like 4 days.
Yeah, because it was like a non-limb, so she got to like totally just hang out. They like took her out or something. She's like living. Paulie comes in and talks a lot about the Sexy Six and Paulie and Nunes' plan to take out Kate and Morgan, and that's why they held that against him. So little bits keep sort of like coming out, like Laura passed that on. Then Karen's episode, she's, oh my God, Karen, fuck, I love her. On her way there, she's like so excited for the goss. She's like sad she's gone, but then like equal parts like, yes, now I'm in Jeruville, I'm going to get all the goss. She's like, I hope Paulie's like being cute. Then they do this gag where like she walks in and Laura and Paulie's faces are like mean, like scowls. And the music's like, dun, 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 dun. But then they're like, whoa, joking. And they do this little gag. So funny.
I love Karen. I feel like if you're with her or against her, like she's the type of person that you just want around you at camp. Like
totally.
Like the brief time like I've spent with her, like I was like she's sarcastic and she's witty, and then she's like she can flip and be like she's like I was just listening to her at this party, and it's like she's got like the sarcastic sassy vibe, and then like someone's asking her a question, like a genuine like some emotionally based question.
She's a star. Like honestly,
she's like giving her like advice, and I was like, this is really nice. Like she's just like an awesome like all round person.
She will play again. Yeah, having crossed paths with her a few times now, can confirm star quality. Yeah, like she's just really really funny.
I think she needs to work on it. We need to get rid of those overalls. Yeah. I love them, but they're not.
Yeah,
good for
agree.
Survivor.
Because she's like seriously hot, and it's like, why are you wearing these overalls?
And also, if you're going to take a pin out of a grenade, you have to throw it.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, she tried.
I think. I actually think that edit was like made it just look really bad. I think
I agree.
I think the plan on that. I know it wasn't on this episode, but just something I want to touch on. I think she had this idea floated to her, like flip your vote to Zara, and then Zara goes home. And then I think she wanted to save Zara because if she flipped on Zara, that buys her one tribal. So what's the point? She flips on Zara and then she's on the bottom the next tribal anyway. Like it doesn't get anything.
But then she did vote for Zara.
Well,
unfortunately, but I think that's she only did that because
she realized
the performance didn't go the way she hoped, and she's like, "Fuck it, I'll just go back to thing." But unfortunately, everyone else had moved on.
Yeah, well, I think she was initially trying to get that idea of like, well, if I can have my cake and eat it too, then save Zara and buy myself a couple more votes or tribals.
Honestly, and for too long on this show, it's like always been the men that do these like big performative moves. So I was so happy to finally see like a woman on the cast being like, no, I'm going to like do some like ballsy performative shit. I was so here for it. Yeah. And it didn't work, but so what? Like you leave an icon and we all want more. So you win.
Yeah. So no, I was very impressed. I was still very distraught. I had her leaving. But I was very impressed with the way that went down. I don't think the edit did it justice at all.
Yeah. No, so her Drewville episode is adorable. Highly recommend watching that. She also says, like, after a few like cocktails at the dinner, she says that she hopes everyone at camp chokes on their beans. Then she calls them all dumbasses. She goes, "I hope a dumbass doesn't win." And she goes, "Well, there's some serious dumbasses over there." And I was like gagging at home. And then she's like, "Yeah, I just don't want a dumbass to win," which is absolute queen behavior. Oh, and then they go paddleboarding in the rain, which was quite funny. Then Logan arrives and she's so excited to kiki with her girl Laura. But then Laura isn't excited to see her. And it's kind of kicks off, and they have some awkward tension at the dinner about, like, I'm not making this up. This Drewville this year is Housewives. Like, every dinner party there is a fight. Like, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm assuming wine will be thrown at some point.
Why don't they air it as like a full
Exactly.
episode? Do 2 regular episodes and have an hour and a half of
they
Drewville.
should. I would even love it like cut in to the main show. You could do it.
Yeah. It's like, and this is why the jury is so
salty. Yeah.
It's not that salty at the players, they're salty at each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they kind of work it out on the remix, those two, which is good, but it's still a bit orcs. But then Kristin coming in next, totally, like, we forget about that because this is wild. Like, Kristin walks in, and I actually did feel bad for her because it's like 2 seconds in and Paulie's already like, "So, just wanted to have a bone to pick with you." And she's like, she's like, "Girl, let me like at least eat some food." And he just goes there. He's like, "When specifically did I lose your trust?" And blah, 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 blah. And then she's actually really good. She's like, "Well, all right, here's some examples. Like, at the start, you were dictating things to me and not including me and blah, blah, blah." And then she actually kind of schools him a little bit, which I was not expecting. She outlines like all the times that he just like point blank lied. And then she also is like, "And when you do lie, later on when I call you out about it, you're just like, he. And I'm like, yes, that's so true. So I actually was like, oh no, Paulie. But I'm like still in love with Paulie, and I still think Kristin's annoying, but she definitely had some good points.
But it's that to me is like so on point for Paulie. It's like Kristin's walking in, I'm the main character. Yeah.
And then Logan's amazing. She's like, "Paulie, cool it." She's like, "Let the woman have a meal." Yeah. And then it's really awkward. She's like, "Okay, I'm going to leave dinner now. A, because I want to go to sleep, and B, because like this has been the most awkward shit ever." Yeah. It's like, ooh. Yeah.
To me, it's so interesting because when I think of, I did watch. I remember, not that I've watched many Drew Villas, but I always get the feeling it's like, it's like a celebration. It's like, we're out the game. Let's have some fun.
It normally is, and that's why it's whatever.
We'll clear things up, but at the end of the day, we all like, we're here for a game. Let's like water.
Oh, exactly. And the game is like kind of over for them.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And I remember once Sam Gash got grilled, but that also lasted like half the dinner, and then it's like, everyone's friends again.
They moved on.
Whereas
this was the whole dinner.
It sounds like it doesn't.
And I mean, we'll see next week. I'm like more excited about Drewville at this point, but we'll see next week. I want to see Paulie just like grill the shit out of everyone that walks in for no reason.
Yeah, just even if he likes them, like, like Miles can say, you saved
like,
me, but you didn't save me enough.
What about exactly? You didn't save me enough because I'm here. It's so good. Oh, well, Brendan, thank you so much for joining me this week on the pod.
Me. Thanks for the wine.
Oh,
we should have
cheers to Logan. Yeah, it's been fun. And obviously, people can find you on Instagram
at Australian Survivor Memes.
Australian Survivor Memes, which, I mean, if you're listening to this, I assume you already partake. But if you're living under a rock, and Kristin, a rock is a round object.
No, let's not go there.
Yeah. Then that's the account. But thanks, Joel, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.